Strength through will is how we can reverse the perversion of values that have been instilled in you, in me, and all our brethren, insidiously through generations of ancestral oppression. Though it stood with as much superhuman endurance as anyone could, it left a deep impression. Invisible scars that have caused us to devolve into a state of unconsciousness so malignant, we've nearly forgotten we're not a problem to be solved. We always been the solution they seek to dissolve, with the illusion of ties that bind us to a system that blinds, of most vicious design, which is to free no man. Only together, through sharing of wisdom, can we heal the wounds of division, forever sealing that evil incision, and finally deprogram.
Welcome to the Deprogram Show. I'm your host, RMJR. We got a very special guest in the building, an entrepreneur, a record executive, a businessman. He got many hats, and he's very key to the music industry, not only in Chattanooga, but the South. We got the one, the only, DScott. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, Rose? I'm good, bro, man. Thank you for having me, though.
Man, thank you for being here, man. What I'm doing, man, I'm actually putting on what's called the Legends series. My last one I just posted, I just did Shout It Thuggy. And then it's doing numbers. And now I'm doing another legendary guest, the one, the only DScott.
That's what's up. I appreciate it, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. Like what I do, man, when I interview somebody, I kind of do my background on them. What I don't know, I find out what I can. That way I'm prepared for the interview.
I got you. Yeah. Cool. But thank you for having me, man. This sounds exciting about the Legend series. I can't wait to get ready to come out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up.
Yeah. So I guess my first question is, man, how did y'all come up with Down South Customs?
Oh man, Down South Customs, man. Just to put it all in the context, shout out to Stud. That was my partner at the Rim Shop back in the day. But yeah, man, really, we was fixing up cars, doing our thing, we had different cars fixed up with rims and paint, interior, and all that kind of stuff. So when we got a chance to kind of get in the business from this dude named Harvey, he was from New Orleans. He came to Chattanooga years ago. He used to paint cars, put the bowling ball paint on cars and stuff like that. So me and Harvey got real cool. He painted my Impala, bowling ball, green and yellow. And so we got real cool. And I was kind of like learning a little stuff from him about business in a rim shop. And when he got ready to go back to Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to sell it. And, I got with my partner and we just kind of like, since we the ones who got a lot of fixed up cars around here, we got a lot of great ideas, why not get into that business? You know what I'm saying? To kind of sell people the visions that we have for cars, right? So that's how Down South Customs started, man. We had a chance to buy the business from Harvey. He showed us some stuff. And man, we jumped straight in, fixing up our cars and people we know cars, and people trusted us because, we had some cars they liked. Okay. So that's how we got into the rim game, so which was my first real business, you know what I'm saying, that I got into. I had to get a city and county business license and stuff like that. That was the first time I ever had to do that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What let you know, or what inspired you to become a businessman?
I mean, I just think, I don't know, I always had like an entrepreneur spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like even when I was little, let me just say this, I understood what supply and demand was in like sixth grade, you know what I'm saying? So when you understand how supply and demand work that early, it make you do stuff and you leveraging supply and demand, don't even know, right? Because I realized in the sixth grade, if I had certain things like candy or like this icy my brother used to sell at school or at the bus stop early, stuff other people couldn't get at the bus stop, you know what I'm saying? People was buying it from me, and when I realized that I can kind of leverage my own price because I don't be having that much, So that was my first like insight of what it's like to deal with supply and demand, to be an entrepreneur, to have something that other people are willing to pay for, And then I had to figure out, as a young boy in the 6th grade, I had to figure out what's the best price point. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds crazy, but I just tell you the story, man. I just tell you the story. So my brother used to work at a place called Tennessee Cold and Dry Storage. He called it ConAgra, downtown by the choo-choo, right behind the choo-choo, right? And he'd bring these ices home called Barillo Ice. Man, they were good, but they didn't sell them in Chattanooga, right? It was a distribution hub for other places in the Southeast, I think, right? So, he could bring them home because he worked there. So we had some kind of exclusive, right? So he gave me some. I was like, that's good. Man, my first thought, they'll pay me for this. Somebody will pay me for this, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm in the 6th grade. I'm in the 6th grade thinking this, so here I go, stole the ices out the freezer. Straight up. I'm walking ices up to the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? Got them in a little bag, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't melted either. And I'm gonna tell you what it was. I don't know if you remember like the little ice cream cup with the little wooden spoon.
Yeah.
It was just like that. So I had the little spoons with me for my customers. I had the ice cream, you know what I'm saying? So I get up there, I'm in 6th grade now, mind you. I get up there, I'm thinking, I'm gonna give me a quarter each one of them. I'm gonna get a quarter off each quarter. I'm gonna get $2.
Yeah.
This is how I was in the 6th grade. So I get up there, and sure enough, boom, 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 boom. It got gone quick, But then I was like, dang, I ain't got number $2. People still want them. I ain't got number $2. So the next time I did it at 50 cents just to see what had happened. Same thing. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have got $1. You feel what I'm saying? So eventually, man, I wound up getting them to $1. You know what I'm saying? My brother, I'm in the 6th grade, bro. I'm walking about, about a quarter mile, maybe half a mile, up to the bus stop, making me $6, making me $8, right? You know what I'm saying? Eventually. Didn't last too long, man. My brother, once he figured out what I was doing, he was tripping, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me get the ices and tell my mom and all that old kind of stuff. It was kind of crazy, man. But yeah, so that's when I started to know, like, man, I could leverage this. So after the ices, what I did, man, I just started, started selling candy at school. Actually got suspended in the 7th grade at Brandon Jr.
For selling candy?
Yeah, bro. That's how I was competing with the cafeteria, bro. I promise. I was booming though. I was booming straight up. I was in the 7th grade at Brandon Jr. I had a locker on the 9th grade floor full of candy. So between class, I just went up there, open the lock up, stand right there, make a couple of plays, you know what I'm saying? Close locker, be late to class, but I made it, you know what I'm saying? So then the principal came up there, like, what are you doing? And was vice principal. I forgot the little white name. What are you doing? And you can't be doing this. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't breaking, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing illegal or wrong. I'm in the 7th grade now. Ain't nothing illegal, nothing wrong, but this is against school policy and yada yada. But that's spending a selling candy. You know what I'm saying? But that's just kind of how it was. So for me though, just my thought process on, you know what I'm saying, if I can get something that I feel like it has value, man, I'm gonna put the value on it, on what I think it's worth, and I'm gonna push it till I can get what I want to get.
Okay. And see what the reason I asked the first question, because the first question is tied into the second question. The third question stems off the first question. I knew y'all had down south customs. And me studying interviews, you did an interview with Maul where you broke down how affiliated came from down south customs. So that's why I asked that first question.
Yep. And that's real. Like when I did an interview with Maul a while back, it was about the rim shop, us having them cars, fixing them cars up. So when the music came along, we down south records or down south, you know what I'm saying, what it's gonna be. And actually, let me tell you who came up with the affiliated piece. Shay, right? Derek Strickland.
I know.
Yeah, Shay, we sit in a rim shop one day trying to figure out, what we're gonna call this label. He's like, man, make it affiliated. We all together. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same people from the rim shop and the label. So we just ran with that.
Okay. Who was the first artist on Down South affiliated?
Man, the first artist Marquise. Marquise and Real, man. Shout out to them. You know, I had been with Marquise, man, for a long time. You know, Mark my cousin actually, but we had been together just trying and messing around for a long time. And I had always liked to DJ when I was younger. I had always said, you know, if I get my hand on enough money, we'll do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to do our own independent thing. And, you know, we were young, man, you know, 18, 19, just talking, you know, but I really think that I had moved to Huntsville and got into some stuff, and I wound up coming back to Chattanooga. When I came back, I'm like, I gotta do something. So that when we got involved with the rim shop, and then a little bit after that, it's like it just popped off with the music, you know what I'm saying? Like we started going in the studio, just recording different people, you know what I'm saying? And Marquise and Real had some super hot songs in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But we just waiting on that time. And you know, I know you didn't ask me this, but like a little bit after that, that's when the HPGs came with Peanut and Tito and Ted, and it was crazy. They were recording in the same studio. We were recording over there with Ralph Chisholm.
RC.
RC Productions. So we when we came across them, we added them to the fold. It made sense. You know, they were from Highland Park, Shay, Woody, Corey, all them from Highland Park. So it just all made sense.
Okay. So what goes into back then? What did you see when you wanted to pick up, like when you was picking to work with an artist? What intangibles did you look for?
I'm always about that confidence, man. What kind of confidence an artist has? Because if you're not confident in what you're saying and your delivery and your presence, you know, your fans not gonna be confident in it, right? So I'm always looking for that confidence. I definitely want somebody who had that kind of as I call it, that contagious swag, like people who just attracted to that swag, attracted to them as a personality. But I definitely like that. But that confidence, number one for me.
Okay.
And just think about it. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the artists I dealt with, when you think about somebody like Lil Peanut, you know, at the age he was at, man, you know, you couldn't tell that boy nothing on the stage, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a beast, man. I mean, like it was just natural. It came to him so naturally how to move around that stage, man. So, and that attracted me to the whole group was his confidence, man. The way they used to do hang time and just kill it. I was like, man, bro, you gotta ride with us. So that was my thought on that.
So who inspired I want to say y'all driving expeditions with the lights up on them. Where did that come from?
Man, you already know, you know, our thought process was to, you know what I'm saying, be like the local version of Cash Money. Like, since we had the finances to buy the stuff they were talking about, that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? You know, me and Shay, Derek Strickland, Ice Boy, you know, we were like, what we gonna get? He was like, I'm gonna get a Suburban. I said, no, I want Suburban. He was like, I get an Expedition. So that's what we did. We already had cutlasses and Monte Carlos and Caprices and we had hydraulics. We already had all that and Dayton's and stuff. We had that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And but now it's like they talking about cutlass, Monte Carlos and Regals, man. So to Suburban Expeditions with the TV
plan.
Yeah, we just did. Like we can buy these trucks and about some 20-inch momos, and that what we used to rap about. So like we just went and did it, man, and you know, we had to bring it full circle because we knew people would believe in stuff they can actually see. You know what I'm saying? We knew that us buying these things and us putting this image out is gonna validate Lil Peanut words about, you know what I'm saying, drop top fleets, lax and mold. It's gonna solidify his words, and that was important to all of us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no fakers. We can really do this stuff. So that's what we did.
So check this out. I don't know if you remember this. It was the Hot Boys, UGK, I think Shorty and Maul performed, Lincoln Park at the National Guard Armory. This was my first experience of seeing y'all do y'all thing. I'm a young dude, got by my little ticket. And I knew Trey, me and Trey kind of grew up together. So I'm going to the concert, you know what I'm saying, trying to see the Hot Boys UGK. I knew about the shine. And as I'm waiting in line to get my ticket, I see y'all with the lights, and I'm like, oh, so this what it really looked like.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's how we used to do, man. I mean, just we knew that attention, like, you know what I'm saying, when we pull up in them trucks and them cars together, it looked like, whoa, who is that? What they doing? And knowing, you know what I'm saying, knowing we got, you know, especially locally, you know, knowing we got, you know what I'm saying, some of the hottest artists in the city locally, and people vibing on our stuff, and they know us from the street or whatnot too. So that was the thing. And like, even when we went to Nashville, one time, and I don't know, Shorty, you know, probably should have asked Shorty about this. We went to the street meet, and we were scheduled to perform. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we did what we usually do. I wanted to see the sound check. And I said, man, all these people down here on the river, you know what I'm saying? They had like a little spot you ain't supposed to go down. Yeah, we take cars, trucks, bikes, everything down and get right in front of the stage. But it clearly said you wasn't supposed to go down there, you know what I'm saying? So I called Stud. He like, where you at? I'm downtown, bro, doing the sound check. I'm gonna pull a stunt for later. He's like, what you mean? I'm gonna pull these trucks down here in front of all these people, and they're gonna be wondering. So we did that, me and Shay, we did that. And when we came back, you know, they were like, oh, there they go. But I said I would say this. We took over the show so much, bro. We let Shorty go on before us, and he wasn't even scheduled to perform, bro. You know, we were really trying to bring some Chattanooga love into the mix, you know what I'm saying? Because we had DJ Mix with us. So we just gave Mix Shorty music. Mix put it on. Shorty and them got the jamming. And then once they finished their little set, Mix put our music on.
So with that being said, you know, people used to think that there was a rift between down south and fam. So basically, that kind of put that to an end, right? Like whatever people think.
Man, you know, people are always gonna try to pit people against each other. I mean, and you know, just to take that even deeper, man, you know, folks don't realize this. And I think me and Maul discussed it. Man, we went to the Impact Record Convention, I think it was, in Miami. I mean, in hell, we only took 2 trucks. We took my Suburban, we took Shay Expedition. No, I'm lying. My Suburban was in the shop. We took Shay Expedition and we took Shorty truck. And people don't even know this, bro. Shorty and Stud rode together in Shorty P truck all the way to Miami. You know what I'm saying? And me and Shay rode in his Expedition all the way to Miami. That's when Shorty P had that the white F-150 with them 22-inch wheels on it. That thing was nice. But no, man, wasn't no real. Me and Shorty ain't never had no issue, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not me and him personally. I don't know about nobody else in the crew, but you know, think about it. On our Down South Volume 2, we had songs from Shorty. We had songs from ELO. We had songs from other local people who wanted to work together. We was all about, you know what I'm saying, unity, trying to be strong, working together. Unfortunately, everybody not. But like me and Shorty P, fam, we ain't never had no problem. Think about it, man. Me and Maul, no problem. Me and Vin, no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all all done business together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't know if people remember this. I remember I used to record at Block. And it was back when Fam, Block Life, DSA, y'all was all putting on something to get an event together. And y'all all met on Meade Circle in the old house where Block and them used to record it. And
I vaguely really hear that. I vaguely remember that. That was back in the day, back on Meade when we was in the basement of that crib.
And what's crazy, as y'all was having y'all meeting, I had just finished recording a song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Folks be trying to you know, pit people against each other, especially, you know, times like this, man. But no, man, I ain't got nothing to get started. I'm happy he out, man. He doing his thing in Nashville. You know, I just want to see bro keep doing his thing, man. You know, I know he understands it's different out here now. We can't move the same way we used to move, but bro, no issues over here, homie. Straight up.
So let me ask you this, because I ain't never seen, I got to give it up to you. I ain't never seen nobody work a song in Chattanooga the way you work a song. And what I mean by that, man, shout out to D Cooley. The trap clothes, the way y'all work that campaign, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong. I ain't never seen it done on that level from an artist from Chattanooga.
I mean, I ain't gonna say that never been done from an artist from Chattanooga.
I'm saying on that level, from like working local, from a local perspective.
I think, well, this is the thing. Knowing that, not knowing what kind of scrutiny D Cooley might get, because this after the split with the HPGs, is after me and Stud split, and they, he doing his own thing, I'm doing my own thing. So the label had kind of split, and it's my passion, so I'm just trying to hold on and still do it. So when I ran across D Cooley at Blocks, he was part of the Street Stars with Roland and BJ and that girl, and so
Show
Mark, 20 grand. That was a hell of a group, man. Block had put together. I met D Cooley up there, man. Him and BJ and them and Roland and them. And he was just a cool dude. His demeanor, his vibe, his confidence was there. But I knew to solidify him and bring him into, the people I deal with. I knew it needed to be a strong campaign. And so when we decided on Trap Clothes, he always stayed in his wife beating his dickies. So we just kind of took it and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? And people don't even know, man. So much of that stuff was just done in house. Like, I think, that's the one. I think I did the artwork on that poster, on this first poster. You know what I'm saying? I did the artwork, and that was like, man, let's get the stuff done in house. And bought the T-shirt printer. We print all them T-shirts. We print them in house. You know what I'm saying? And when I went ahead and bought the CD burner towers and the printers, I said, man, we just got to do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why I look like it was such a big campaign locally. I really need to get his name solidified in the city as like the person. And then once we got that radio play, you know what I'm saying? Shout out JTT. But once we got that radio play, it really made it simple. And also we got that verse from Maceo when I was in Atlanta one day. We got that verse from Maceo. Well, he had came up. I had met him in Atlanta. But got that verse from Maceo, that made it tight, because then Maceo was blowing up with that oh, sit down. He was blowing up with that Trap Clothes was bubbling a little bit with a verse from him on there. So, and it's talking about trapping. All that worked out good, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it was just an upbeat enough song to be the first thing. I look back now, he had other songs I probably would have picked, but Trap Clothes was a good record for us.
So what goes into, cause I seen it, I ain't even talking about just locally. I seen DJ Drummer, shout out D Cooley. I seen D Cooley in the Ozone magazine. I seen him working with different artists outside the city. Like, I seen him on the track with Yo Gotti, All Star. He was doing stuff at that time was uncharted for a local artist. So I wasn't actually there, but I seen pictures of y'all going to Florida promoting. And I also heard from Maul, who was in the mix, traveling and stuff back and forth, how when he show up, y'all will be there and back and forth. So like the campaign, y'all was rapping cars and stuff back then.
I mean, and that's back to being in other places, man. I really feel like, if you want to grow, you got to go places to see what other people doing, see what kind of money they spending, what kind of money they investing in themselves. And I spent a lot of time in Atlanta, I see. I mean, that's when Atlanta really starting to bubble and blow. We got, Young G's and them coming out. It's really bubbling and blowing. Gucci Mane coming up. So when you in Atlanta, bro, all you see is them old school rap Astro vans, right? Them Chevy Astro vans. That was like the dream to have for your campaign team, right? So you see them Chevy Astro vans everywhere. Rap, you know what I'm saying? So that's a rolling billboard. And I knew nobody in Chattanooga had never done it. I was like, I gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? So, I had a Suburban that I wasn't driving no more. So I'm just gonna wrap this, throw some wheels on it, and that's what we did. And it changed the game for the most part. But speaking about places like Florida and the Ozone and working with them artists, man, I mean, I kind of was on a path back then thinking that I can grow my artist buzz by being in these other places, of course. But somewhere like when we were doing the Ozone stuff, that when Julia Beverly was down in Tallahassee hanging out with TJ Chapman from TJ DJ. So this before TJ started managing BOB and Trap Beckham and any of that. But he was the man breaking records from Tallahassee. not just in Tallahassee, from Tallahassee. So he was covering pretty much all of Florida. I mean, we saw Rick Ross down there. We saw B.O.B. Anybody who was anybody coming up. I mean, Cool and Dre, Scott Storch. We saw all the Yin Yang and Mr. College Park. You know, not how I already had kind of relationship with them too. But like we saw all them people working their records down in Tallahassee at DJ record pool convention and tastemakers or whatnot. And we had to be in the mix. And I'm gonna tell you who put me on game with that, who really was a strong ear for me when I was discussing stuff like that. Wally Sparks. Folks don't be bringing Wally up in the mix enough, man. Wally, to me, you know what I'm saying, besides being a great DJ, you know, he was one of them people with that knowledge, man. You know, that's how I know TJ. That's how I know people like Superstar J Quick down in Tallahassee still spinning records, you know what I'm saying? He had did all them Gucci Man mixtape, did Superstar J Quick, that's my guy. But Wally introduced me to him. Tampa Tony, Wally introduced me to him. Granddaddy South, Wally introduced me to these people, but put me in the room to meet these people, right? So, you know, and we wasn't scared. So it's like, we go to Florida, you know, we do what we do. I mean, Wendy Day, I don't know if you know who that is. Right, so Wendy Day, she shouted out D Cooley. You know what I'm saying? And on the panel in Tallahassee, because she said, when I got off the airplane, all I've seen was D Cooley posters all the way to here. Who is he? You feel what I'm saying? And that was part of that guerrilla marketing. And shout out to my homeboy, James McCamey, JJ from Washington Hill. You know JJ?
Yeah.
Man, JJ was my promotion guy. We had the street team. We took like 3 vans of people to Tallahassee that year. You know, we had a bunch of street team girls. JJ oversaw all of it while I was handling the other business. Man, they wet that place up, bro. We had thousands of posters, thousands of flyers, and we had the thousands of CDs, and we were still printing CDs, burning CDs and printing on them in the hotel room. Straight up. We had the sleeves, the CDs, the spindles. We like, hey, straight, bro. It was serious.
So before we leave music, I gotta ask this question. What do you think that's missing from the scene, from the Chattanooga music scene right now? Because back then, it was a hustle that was unmatched. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't see that hustle that you and Shawty had. I don't see that to the degree that it was back then right now. So what do you think is missing from the music scene today?
Well, I'm gonna answer that 2 ways, you know. Well, let me start with the hustle. I don't think you see the hustle because the internet has made it very easy for people to get discovered, to get noticed, to get recognition, right? So I think that's why you don't see the hustle. You know, I think it's still a hustle, but you don't see it because it's really on the internet. How much can you be on your phone or your computer or, you know what I'm saying, doing, you know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. But what's missing, I go back to this a lot, Roland. I go back to this a lot, man. I feel like unity is important. Real talk. I feel like we're a lot stronger together than we are divided. And you know, we got some killer talent around here. I mean, bro, Tez D, Tom P. We got some talent in this city, bro. I just don't see that unity with people linking up. You know what I'm saying? And like it's more difficult now because I say this a lot. Like when people be like, "You go to Atlanta and do this, you go to Atlanta and do that." I say it's more difficult to do things in big cities because you have millionaires trying to do the same thing you're doing. So their budget gonna be a little different than your budget. So with that being said, they down there linking up in Atlanta, you know, and they rich. So what the hell make y'all think y'all don't need to link up here in the city? You know what I'm saying? These young boys ain't got so smart now, and I'm a fan of Lil Baby. I'm a fan of Dirt. I'm a fan of DaBaby. I'm a fan of what's his name, Moneybagg Yo. And these boys be kicking it together, making songs together. I don't be seeing no hating on them. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that little crew I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like Dirk and Lil Baby, them boys tight. And it's good to see that kind of connection with with young rappers who really talk about stuff they talk about. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel if you got a campaign going with Ted and Tom P and just people uniting together, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's more that I'm probably missing, but uniting together, bro, it could really create a situation. But it is what it is.
Okay. So leaving that, we're gonna the next topic will be because you was a party promoter. Cause
Yeah.
you had, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said many hats. Talk to the people about how you got into the party promotion.
Oh man. Man, honestly, to be honest, dog, to be honest, all of it was kind of a fluke. Like I had already told Marquise, like I said, when I got enough money, we'll start doing our own thing and start independently with the music. But that came from the party promotion piece that I was dealing with DJ Mitch and them on when I was a boy. I was a young boy. And DJ Mitch used to have a in the mix DJs, 12-10 crew, all that stuff. And I had some techniques, like a DJ, you know what I'm saying? He could let me be on stage with them in high school and do the parts of National Guard. So I had already had a little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? A little microphone talk, between the songs, on top of the songs. But as the time kind of, you know what I'm saying, went on, kind of had to do it a little different, you know what I'm saying? So I realized, I really realized when we got back, we won a thing called the Social Deaf Can I Live Weekend, HPGs, right? And we came home and did like a congratulations party, like welcome home party right after we won. And I realized the numbers that was in there. I was like, wow, these numbers serious. These people paid to see us, you know what I'm saying? Paid to get in and hang out with us. And when I realized that could be a revenue stream back to this, like the ISIS, you know what I'm saying? When supply and demand. When I realized that could be a revenue stream, and I said, man, we gotta do this once a month, you know what I'm saying? And boom, there it is. First Friday's born. So we started doing First Fridays, and I was doing First Fridays to offset some of the money we were spending into the label, right? So to me, it just made sense. Okay, we selling records and cats, you know what I'm saying? We're Down South, Volume 1, Volume 2. That's cool. Now I can use this as a vehicle to make more money for the label, right? You know what I'm saying? So monthly, that way I ain't spending so much out of our pocket, right? So we kind of started to go that route, but to be honest, it was kind of crazy because that's kind of when the label started to divide. When I started coming up with First Friday, when that first started happening. I mean, and honestly, I talked to my two partners at the time, and they felt like, one of them, like Stud specifically, he felt like it was crazy. Like, it might come no parties. Like, what? All right, I do it. I do it solo, and I did it solo. You know what I'm saying?
So you was trying to get all y'all to go in together?
Well, I thought it needed to be a label thing. I wanted it to be a label thing. That way we could just use the money. And you know what I'm saying? Use the money for the label. And he kind of shot me down on that. And I'm like, I know. I mean, at this time, I'm 19. I know supply and demand. I've been doing this since fifth grade. Hold
on. Let's rewind. You said you was 19 when y'all were doing all that?
Oh, yeah.
See that's important. I didn't know you were that young at that time.
Yeah. When I came home from Alabama, I went to Alabama A&M for a minute. And when I came home from Huntsville, bro, I was 19. I mean, yeah. I remember when we started the rim shop, I had just turned 20. You feel what I'm saying? So it was crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yes, but yeah, so within all that, you know what I'm saying? That's just how that needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Go on and handle this now and try to make it jump the way we can make it jump.
Okay. So what did you look for? Like, I know you said you look for confidence when you picking an artist, but when you promoting a party, what booking an artist? Because I know having your artist and booking an artist is kind of one and the same, but it's different. So besides the confidence, what were you looking for when you was getting ready to book an artist for your party?
who the hottest on the street, you know, back to supply and demand, Once I started to realize that I had enough influence with my man DJ Mix, DJing pretty much all the stuff in Chattanooga for the radio station, for individuals, for all the clubs, whatnot, it got to the point where I was able to break records and have the show coming. You understand? And just one case in particular, it's like my favorite story to tell about this because it was crazy. So it was Shop Boys, Party Like a Rock Star, right? I had Jim Jones in Chattanooga on a Friday and had him in Macon on a Saturday, right? I had a first Friday, had Macon on a Saturday. So I was going back and forth to Macon a lot, checking on the promotions and all that stuff. So I'm going through Atlanta and I hear Party Like a Rock Star, party. I mean, damn. They playing, every station playing the hell out of this record. So, you know, I get on the phone with some people and be like, hey man, who is this person? So they like, man, it's a new group out of Atlanta, man. They bumping down here. So I get to Macon and my DJ Ric Flair, my homeboy Ric Flair down in Macon, he was like, bro, now mind you, I'm going through Atlanta hearing a song to Macon, right? Get to Macon, they playing. I'm like, well, damn. So I asked DJ Ric Flair, I said, who are these people? He was like, oh man, my cousin be talking to their manager. That's how the game works, bro. I can't make this stuff up, bro. So Ric Flair get me in touch with my man Bingo, you know what I'm saying? From Atlanta. And you know, on my way back, I stopped in the studio and hollered at him. Mind you, the song is brand new, right? We talking late February, early March. You know what? It might be mid-February. I didn't look at the dates again on my old flyers. Anyway, so we talking like, you know what I'm saying, like mid to late February, early March, right? I bust up on a studio session with him. I work out a $2,500 show, bro, for May 19th, my birthday. Out the gate, you feel me? As I'm here by the chat, don't give me the contract, yada, yada, yada. That's nothing, right? Bro, I had CDs, I took mixed CDs, took the station CDs. The station wound up playing because they wound up getting the deal in their process. Bro, by the time they came to Chattanooga May 19th, that week, it was the #1 song in the country.
So you caught it way before it hit.
Way before. And that's what you have to do. You gotta see the wave. Bro, just think about it. That night, you know what I'm saying? Man, that night for the DScott Paul Like a Rockstar birthday bash, bro. I had them headlining. Yo Gotti came and done a walkthrough for $1,500. I paid Delicious $37.50. She got more than anybody. You feel me? How crazy is that? You feel me? Yeah. I paid the Shop Boy. I wound up paying Shop Boy $32.50 and all because we was in Memphis one time, like throughout that process with Gotti and All Star. And my homeboy Johnny Cabell, he do a lot of booking in Atlanta. Shout out Johnny. Johnny called me and said, man, you gotta book my new group. I'm like, you better not say Shop Boys. I already got them on the hook. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, we gotta change it, D, because now they got a deal and they got radio and you know, these radio stations gonna be tripping. So we're gonna need to all right, man. Go on and put that $750 on the back end for yourself. I ain't tripping, bro. Go on and do it. Make my price $32.50. We can live with it. I ain't tripping. That's how it be. You know what I'm saying? He had the control. He was booking. He was finna play the game. $32.50, bro. It's still finna be the hottest record. So I wasn't tripping. So I paid the $32.50. Paid the Delicious like $37.50. Pay yo got it $1,500 for a walkthrough. $1,500, bro. But back then we were doing shows. We had got on shows for like $2,500 though. We probably got into the whole number like $2,500. I ain't never paid you got no more than $3,500. No more than $3,500. I mean, it's a blessing because God is probably getting 100 plus now. I ain't mad at him. Make that money. You know what I'm saying? Make that money. You know. But
so you mainly was looking for who the hottest on the street was.
Yeah, and who coming up? Like I used to catch records before they even hit radio. You know, and some of that's like after you build a relationship with people like DJ Scream, you know what I'm saying? When you know Scream gonna let you know what's popping, you know what I'm saying? So having them relationships helped me, you know, and then, you know, if I had a problem getting artists, I just hit Scream, hit some more people like, hey man, can you help me, you know, with this, that, and the other? And they're like, oh yeah, I got you. And then keeping your name and your word good, that's important. Like I know people like Scream and John, they'll vouch for me. They'll be like, oh no, D, go, like you need to go. Like, they used to tell artists, you need to go to Chattanooga and do First Friday with D to get your record out more. Like, bro, we done did Big Bang Black, Jay, you know what I'm saying? You know, Jay bought Big Bang Black dude when he did that tried out record with Candy. I mean, of course we did Boosie, Webb. I mean, yeah, we done did everybody. You know, all the hottest people from back in the day. You know, me and BunB, we developed a personal relationship. You know, we only did all the shows me and BunB did together. We only did one contract.
Wow.
The first time. The rest of it was just like, bro, what you doing on Christmas? He was like, I'm free. I'd be like, bet. I'm gonna book the plane ticket. I'll book the plane ticket and shoot him half the money. Without a contract. You know what I'm saying? One of them All-Star games was coming through. But no, man, you know, BunB was like, D, I need a room for the weekend. I'm like, hey, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know, and I trusted bro to take care of the rental, and he did. He turned it in, all that. So those are the kind of relationships you gotta build, man. You know, and when you build that stuff, I see BunB right now, you know, I know it's gonna be love. Any of them, BunB, any of them, bro. BunB, Boosie, any of them.
So since you brought up Big Bang Black, I gotta go back just a second. Big Bang Black came down here on the Vinny the Shark Homecoming.
Absolutely.
Word, I wasn't there. I don't own club. But word was that Bank was supposed to headline.
He was supposed to.
But Vinny buzz coming out of the feds was so big that Bank had to open up for Vinny.
Yeah. What happened with that is, man, I had the show booked, you know, and Mal was handling all the business on Vinny and them side. When Mal hit me with it, just the opportunity of Vinny coming home, I understood how big that was for the city of Chattanooga. I really understood. And I was just like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, man, the Bank show was cheap. It was like $3,000. You know, I mean, that from being tied in to people, being able to touch people like Baby Jade and people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, that's my brother. I see Bank. So like $3,000 on Bank, might have been 35, I don't remember exactly. But I told Mal, I was like, bro, y'all just get this little piece with me on that. It's a no-brainer, man. You know, Vinny gonna rock the house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really was like, damn, I'm wasting $3,500 almost. You feel me? So not knocking Bank by no means, but I could have put that off for another situation and made double up. You know what I'm saying? That's a supply and demand. But I mean, but we did what's right. I think it was a good look for somebody like Bank to even see that kind of momentum for a dude who just got the joint. You know what I'm saying? Because with him being a street dude, I'm sure he respected it. But it wasn't no pushback and nothing on that. You know what I'm saying? They were like, shit, that's what we want to do. That's what we do. And it was a killer night. Vinny killed it, bro. Killed it. Man, we set it up. We set it up like it should have been set up, man. Mal did a great job of getting all the promotion out. We teamed up on it. The radio station got involved. They helped us out a lot. Shout out Norris, great interviews, you know what I'm saying? So they really helped set us up for that kill situation with that, man. Straight up.
So you don't ever think about going back into music in some capacity because with your relationships and your knowledge of the game, man, I don't know. I just feel like you one of the missing pieces to the city as far as like tapping in. Like we right here with your knowledge and expertise, we could go right here and put us on a whole nother plateau.
I mean, of course, I love the music industry, so that I'm not abandoning it by no means. I'm always available to have conversations and consult. But honestly, man, for me right now to be investing like my money into an artist, I don't think that's in the cards for me right now, man. I'm doing other things that I feel like have more guaranteed outcomes, if that makes sense, more calculated, guaranteed outcomes. I love music, I love the industry, but right now, to me, it feels like a crapshoot. You know what I'm saying? I say that because you can have the hottest records, with some good ass records, But you know, if you don't carry the rest of that, some of that junk I call that come with it, some of that negativity that come with it, people might not be up on you like that, like they are up on some of the other artists. You know what I'm saying? And hell, damn, they feel like you got to be a drill rapper to get money now. Like that's who's getting all the money. I ain't not getting Dirk and R.I.P. Von and all them boys. You know what I'm saying? But like Lil Baby, they get money. But man, I think I just rather do what I'm doing, like more calculated outcome with my money, with the business. But I don't mind consulting, I don't mind having conversations with people about it. But investment and maybe management, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can kind of get some point and click money, you know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, with that being said, we're gonna go into we're gonna go into the Chamber of Commerce first before we go into your latest business venture. What you talked about it a little bit on mall thing, how you seen that you need to make a change. Like, let the people know how important, first of all, let them know how important the Chattanooga Chamber of Commerce is to Chattanooga, because I think a lot of people, it's over their head.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy because, like, as a black man, I didn't know what it was, you know what I'm saying? So when I got there, but the Chattanooga Area Chamber of Commerce is a business organization. I like to say we the balance between business and politics in the city, right? And basically, my job at the chamber is to help Black businesses be more included, involved, right? When opportunities become available for Black businesses, my job is to help them get involved if they want to be involved. And also things like, helping people get jobs, just opportunities that's available to people of color. That's part of what I do now, like when people hiring and you go over here to get a job, I get all the information out to kind of help people, help the community grow. But within saying that, when I came into the chamber, man, I just got into a situation when I was in Atlanta, and I kind of just came in to kind of have a job for the moment. You know what I'm saying? But my mentor at the time, he was like, man, since you got to go get this job, just make the best of it. Call this lady, yada yada. I called, they hooked me up, got the job. And that, I was like, well, I'm working for a little while, got this case coming up, then I get through this case and then I just get back to what I was doing. But what happened, man, I started to see opportunity, supply and demand, right? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm in there, I started to see that, man, it's a lot of things that Black people don't know that's going on in business and around here. I need the help, you know what I'm saying? So I started organizing things in the evening with some Black business owners that I knew to kind of get them some of that information. And then when opportunities started all opening up for myself, when I was able to, get involved in this and get involved in that, it's you building your network and, you might be making a little bit of money too. So once I was able to get involved in some of that, I was able to leverage some of my information and things that I'm learning through the chamber to start my own business. Me and my partner started a business downtown. So that's kind of how they came about. And the reason the Chamber of Commerce is important because, like I say, the business and the business and political link, but the chamber is always gonna know on what's next, what's coming to the city. Is it Volkswagen, Amazon, what's coming to the city, what jobs are gonna be available, what area would these businesses be moving into, and all of that drives economic development. And that's something that, we as a people, as Black people, I don't think we know enough about economic development, and I'm still learning too, but the more I learn, the more I try to implement, meaning I want to have a property in the inner city to help low income people that may not be able to afford to buy houses right now. I want to support anything that's going to help our people get on their feet, right? Right now, I'm working with Mom for Social Justice on developing a curriculum to teach more of our inner city students about people like John Lewis, about things that I should have known about as a boy, but I was never taught. So those are some of the relationships and reasons why the Chamber of Commerce is so important in this community. But like with everything, it's all about how you use the tools you have, right? So it could be a very useful tool if you're using it for the right way, but you got to be intentional, and it ain't gonna always be easy, but you got to dig.
Okay. So your business downtown, for those who sleep, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Is that, I don't want to mess the name of the business because it's a legendary business.
That's it, man. Chattanooga Cigar Club. Been open since 2017, man. It's a blessing, bro. I mean, it's a real deal blessing to come from what I come from and be able to own a business downtown Chattanooga. We get tourists. We try to keep it on the kind of the upscale type of things. You know what I'm saying? We get a little turned a little bit at night, but try to have some good, clean fun. Smoke some cigars, some hookah, eat some good food, man. Have some good drinks, man. So coming from the promotions, like we said earlier, coming from like the entertainment background, this is where I am at this level in my life, right? It's still entertainment. We still bring in artists. We bring, Swavo, Frank Bumpers to play the sax. The New Breed band was in there last night. But we always try, DJ mixing it all the time. That's my guy still to this day. We trying to bring it on more of an older, chill vibe now. All that young stuff is just what it was from when we was young, man. And we had fun doing that stuff. But like now, man, we chilling like grown folks. You know what I'm saying? The discussions inside the cigar bar, they be different sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We talking about property and real estate and business ventures. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the daytime when me and my partner like be sitting there just talking real business. But that's what we trying to do. So that's what we at with that, man. And it's a blessing. I want to thank everybody who done been down. And if you plan on coming down, bust on up, 1518 Market Street. Holla at your boy.
So what led into the whole formalization of the Cigar Club?
Well, my homeboy Curtis Green, he been doing security for me forever, since way back in the day when all the rap shows and all that stuff. He been doing security. And back to these connections, man. He was doing security at that location when it was another nightclub, right? And when the owner decided to move, he asked Curtis, somebody who might be interested in getting his space. And Curtis said, "Let me see." So he called me and we looked at it, man, and we ran the numbers. The numbers made sense. We knew the kind of numbers we could possibly do. And just like with the Burlow Ice, man, we started setting them numbers and kind of figuring out what our projection was gonna be, and got the business rolling.
So I think you kind of alluded to the answer, but I want a clear answer, so I won't be assuming.
Right.
One of my questions was, what is more profitable, the record label or the party promotions?
Party promotions. I mean, let me say this. For me. And I say that because, man, people are getting extremely rich off record labels. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we didn't make it to that level to start to get that kind of income. You know what I'm saying? And really, well, you know what? Let me break this down even more. You said what's more profitable, the record label or party promotion? It depends on how many parties you're having first. It depends on how many parties you're having. But I'm gonna say this: being an establishment owner is more profitable than both. So, and I put that in perspective on this. We're open pretty much Monday through Saturday, right? We do special events on Sundays. So every day is a day. Every day, every week is a chance for me to make money. When unless you're doing like you putting 2,000, 3,000 people in the venue once a month, then that might be a little more, at 50 a head, that might be a little more profitable, you know what I'm saying? But for me, what I'm doing now, being an establishment owner, it's more profitable. Money come in weekly, we reinvest, we ain't pulling them, we always waiting on the next move. But yeah. And I don't gotta ask anybody. When you're doing parties, you under all these rules and scrutiny. You can only do what the venue owner let you do. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like, of course we're not breaking no laws, no rules, but it's just like, we want to open at this time, we just open at this time. If something popping off, like what's today? Today Monday, July 5th. If something popping off Wednesday and somebody called me today, it's like, hey, I want to get in there and let's do it. You feel me? So that provides more opportunity to make more money.
So I gotta ask this: why? Because Chattanooga want to know Why we ain't get an HPG album, man? We got the compilations. Why we ain't get the album, man?
I'm gonna tell you my view. I love to hear Tito view and Peanut view, Milo, Ted's. The organization started crumbling. The label started crumbling. You know what I'm saying? Me and my former partner Stud. We had some differences. People kind of chose where they were gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Peanut didn't decide to roll with me. You know what I'm saying? No love lost, still loving it. And I understand, we was all young, what I'm saying, super young. And, at the time I didn't really have the money to do what I needed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? But I figured it out, my nigga, believe that. So I understood him taking the path he took, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm gonna say this, and I want the HBG to check this. That was a very, very much missed opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Financially and for the history of our city. I have tried to do like a reunion situation just for the sake of our city. You know what I'm saying? I know our city want that. It'd be great unity all these years later. But I had a hard time trying to pull it together a few years back, man. So I just kind of had to kind of get back in my lane and just kind of focus on my business endeavors right now. Just kind of move accordingly. But man, it's nothing but love with everybody, the whole label, man. From the HBGs to Marquise to Real, you know what I'm saying? It's Lubid, you know what I'm saying? Love, you know what I'm saying? Nothing but love, nothing but love.
Cause I know this because I'm a hip hop historian, especially in Chattanooga.
Right.
Man, y'all had the site. Y'all, let me correct myself. Y'all had the Golden Boys, Coop, Kane, and Ken. Y'all had at one point the Mystic Clique. See, a lot of people don't think I know all this. Y'all had the Mystic Clique. Y'all had the Golden Boys. Y'all had the HPGs. Man, pretty much the only dudes that you didn't have on the slick really was your Malls and your Venice, but
your fam.
Everybody else.
It's kind of funny as you say this, man. I was a picture popped up on my Facebook the other day, bro, and it was Gutter Squad. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot they was on the label for a minute. Kid, shout out Gutter Squad, man. King Clown going hard. I didn't mention Clown earlier. He acting cool out here. He going real hard. Man, yeah. And I think a lot of that was from people wanting to kind of come to the label because they saw how we did with the HBGs. And then some people, saw some of that effort you spoke about with D Cooley with the Trap Clothes record. People came because of that as well. Mystic Clique, man, hands down, probably one of the most talented groups come through. Darius and Scooter, Weeder, the way they put that together, Vic kind of being the organizer, man. I used to love their sound, you know what I'm saying? It was super diverse within the group, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they really got it in. I really would have loved to watch them really just really they could have flew. They had a real very diverse sound, man. I would have loved to watch them take it to the next level too. They was on it. But honestly, like when they they never officially signed a contract with DSA, but we were trying to work something out. You know what I'm saying? They was hanging around the Psychos, Ken and Kane and all them and Coop. They never officially signed a contract either, but they was around. A lot of them came from my relationship with D Cooley, of course. You know what I'm saying? Them boys popping. Hey, Ken a fool with it and Kane, but hey, yeah. But yeah, that was kind of how they kind of rolled.
So what do you want to leave the people with, man? Because I know you got many things going on, many things in the work. What you want to leave the people with?
Man, just stay humble, you know what I'm saying? Stay prayed up, you know what I'm saying? Stay focused. Anything is possible, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have a way, you can make a way. A lot of people don't understand that they see barriers and roadblocks and like, man, that ain't gonna be possible. Figure it out. You gotta figure it out, man. And I tell you this before I go. Opening, the cigar club, you know, probably one of the most difficult things I had ever done. I had never done that on that level. You know, I used to have a chaos back in the day, but I had never did business on that level. You know what I'm saying? And it taught me a lot, but it did teach me that it's possible, right? And just knowing that it's possible, it let me know that it could be possible for anybody. The resources are out here. You know what I'm saying? Search them out. People will believe in you if you believe in yourself.
Man, this has been one of many. We got another legend in the series done. The one, the only, DScott. This is the D Program Show, and we out.